Hey, y'all. Guess what? I'm here. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. All right. So, y'all have been asking me to come on this channel. Here I am. I'll wait for y'all, a few of y'all to come in and say hello before I start. My phone. How are y'all? Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? What's my phone? Here it is. Somebody texted me already. How y'all doing? I'm going to wait for a few of y'all to get in and say hello. How are y'all? Okay. Oops. I'm dropping stuff. So guess what? We're going to be talking about the plasma. It's been a while. It's been a while. Hey. All right. So before we start, because I know y'all are going to ask me, I'm going to go ahead and post this link, books and spiritual items I suggest. So all the books that I talk about, most of them are going to be here, or you can find them on this, here. I'm going to pin it as well to the top. Well, anyway, can I pin it from here? I have to go back on. Anyway, it's here, and it's also the first link in my description. If y'all don't get it, it's the first link under the video when you click more. Okay, so this is my list. So I've been talking about the plasma for many, many years. I've written books. I have, my own book, How to Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy, aka the Plasma. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. And let me put my name back up there. Hold on. All right. So ever since I started talking about the plasma, there has been so many people that have been writing books on it. And I feel that now that there is more literature on it, spiritually, psychologically, mentally, and physically, that you can literally study more in depth about plasma. Okay, there's plasma physics, there's metaphysical plasma study. There are books on that will interpret religion and ancient myth and text that will decode plasma for you. So yeah, thank you ma'am. So one of the books that I recommend, if you want to see it from a religious and mythological perspective, metaphor, ancient historical ways that people wrote about or described the plasma, is this book right here, The Demon of the Egregor. Angels, Demons, Plasmic, Patristics, and Pyramids. This is a good one, and it's linked. It's by Joseph P. Farrell. So I suggest this book. I'm almost done. I have like this much left, but I've been reading like 3 books at the same time. So unbelievable. I'm currently watching your old stuff. Thank you. Okay. Just started phase 1 elixir, and dreams are so vivid, as they should be. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you. Shira, what video made you when you said to order a sin, you have to Thank you, ma'am. All those videos are still on I don't remember the names of them, child. But all the names all the videos are still up there. I have so many videos. I have thousands of videos. I don't remember the titles of all of them. Just go back and find them. Just rewatch all of them. You'll find something. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you understand about plasma, if you understand about science, if you understand about electromagnetic frequencies and energies, you know that electromagnetic frequencies and energies are all different based on different things. Okay. If you do the science and you understand the science, you'll figure out all you need to figure out, period. Okay. So it will teach you that, and also the New Force and by Dana Kipple. This goes into the exact science of it, as well as the metaphysics and all that kind of stuff. So if you are trying to study plasma, spirit, energy, the force, the dark matter, the dark energy, the in-between, the different dimensions, how to manifest from the spiritual to the physical, you're going to understand plasma, which is the 4th state of matter. Okay. I have many videos on this from years and years ago, but now that people are waking up and writing more about it and studying about it, it's everywhere now. So you could literally find dozens of books on it. Okay. Now, there are different words for plasma. Okay, the ethers, the akasha, the akashic records, nous, all of these things. Okay, fourth state of matter. Look it up. Electromagnetic frequency, energy. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Aura, energy, life force, the force. You know, everything that the spiritual medium that you use to bring in manifestations, that bring in ideas, that spark life. Okay, all of that. That's what it is, basically. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You got my dark matter book? Thank you, Miss Honey Bay. I appreciate that. Yes, I talk about the plasma in my book too that I wrote years ago. And it's what you use to bring forth into this material plane. It's the medium energy that you use to create life, to bring force, to bring life to the plane. It's everywhere. It's like what you use to create. You understand? It's what brings ideas. It's what motivates you. It's what brings energy, life. It brings everything. So when you use that, it's like life force, energy, God energy, divine energy, whatever you want to call it. Scientists call it the plasma. Okay, so there we go. And I think if you look at it from a scientific perspective, it can make it easier to understand it from a metaphysical perspective, a philosophical perspective, and then a physical perspective. It's so easy. Yes, it's so many words for it, you guys. So many words. And the book that I love the most thus far, is this book. Okay, I finished this book while I was on vacation and I started rereading it. It was so good. I was underlining it, rereading it, girl. Sir, if y'all want a book on plasma and y'all want to know how it really works, not as far as science, but as far as metaphysical, this one is it. The Plasma Akasha Hypothesis, the conscious continuum. See that old man right now? So they describe, and this is also linked, just click the first link, you'll find this book listed. This goes deep. This breaks it down. This is like very well organized, and anybody can read this on any reading level. Okay. Love it. There's even pictures in there. Okay, so look. Look at this. It's very self-explanatory, and it breaks it down. It's really good if you're new to this. All right, so and it helps you attract, it helps you create, it helps you do all of this stuff. I don't want to really give it away because it's worth the buy. Okay. There are things that I have been doing, and I've been using this plasma energy to create the things that I have created. And it was very natural for me to do these things that they give instruction on how to do. I was doing this automatically already, which is very interesting. And it tells you how the plasma works through you. Okay, so there's a good example of how like Prince and Michael Jackson back in the old days, Michael Jackson was like, oh, if I don't stay up and late at night, and I'm afraid that, God is going to give Prince the ideas or whatever. Y'all have probably heard that quote, right? Well, the Akashic records or the Akashic library or the plasma or the muse or the nous, same thing, right? It's what gives you ideas. It's what influences you. It's what gives you like thoughts, thought forms, and things like that. It's also something that you feed as well. So for example, if you're sitting up and you're just thinking about something and all of a sudden an idea pops in your head, the same idea might pop into another person's head that's on a similar frequency or thinking about a different thing. If you're equipped to handle that idea and make it come forth, you're gonna get the, you know, the credit for that. You're gonna get the material from that, you know. If you don't have what it takes to execute that idea that you've been given, somebody else might, you know. I'm not talking about hypnotherapy, but thank you, ma'am. We'll just watch, get out and learn how to do that teacup method. Sprinkle, sprinkle, or read a book on it. I'd focus on getting money. All right. So another thing about this book, it teaches you how to create those things to feed. Okay. So when you're like, there are thought forms, there are what they call egregores. Egregores, if you've ever heard of that, that's like a conscious entity that's created by whatever. So for like example, the government is an egregore. The church is an egregore because you feed it energy. Okay. Anything you feed energy to, give attention to, communally, in mass quantities of mass people, is an egregore. Okay. So church, the government, a country, those things. And people can create these also. There's cult, you know what I'm saying? There's, like, authors create them when they make different fantasy worlds, novels, books. They create whole fantasy lands like Harry Potter. So people put money towards that stuff. They watch it, they give it attention, they cosplay. That's an egregore right there. So when you create an egregore, you're creating literally a plasma entity that you can feed and get fed from. Do you understand? They are positive, they are negative, they are neutral. Why? Because that's how people are. Okay. The energy, what kind of energy is there? Positive, negative, and neutral, right? So that's positive, negative, and neutral egregores. You understand? So how you use this energy, how you collect it. This is what a lot of people are talking about. The elites are stealing energy. The elites are feeding these entities. No, y'all are doing that. The elites ain't doing nothing but pointing you in the direction, and you're doing the work. So if you want to not feed negative egregores, negative plasma, negative entities, then focus your attention on something better, or create your own and feed that. You know what I'm saying? So what I teach, you know, this energy, plasma is energy, basically. This energy, this focus, this voice, this speech, this feeding. What are you feeding? You know what I'm saying? What are you feeding when y'all talk about stuff that doesn't matter? What are you feeding when you talk about stuff that people feed to you first in order for you to feed it back 10 times more, 100 times more? Okay. If you're going to feed something, make sure it's your own thing. Just like a business, just like an entrepreneur. Or do you feed your corporation that you work for that gives you this amount of money, when you could be feeding your own business that gives you this amount of money? That's also an egregore. Businesses are egregores as well. They're an entity that you feed, okay? A symbol, a phrase can also be part of anything. So, for example, when you see a sign, when you see something, you automatically think of, when you see a symbol, you automatically think of a thing, and that's also a way to symbolically feed an egregore. That's why no idol worship, no this, no, don't do that, because you're not feeding their egregore, you're feeding something else. So yeah, logos, nous, plasma, stardust, energy, life force, the force, you know, all of that, same thing. God energy, divine energy, dark matter, cosmic energy, whatever, all of that. That's what it is, the plasma in scientific terms. So God, they're egregores in a sense, yes. And now that we're in that day, now that we're in the age of digital, online, there's egregores online. If y'all watch the movie or the series American Gods, it's the same thing. The egregores are now online. So before they were in statues, before they were in mosques, churches, before they were in governments, before they were in cults, they were in political parties. Those are all egregores that you feed. Every time you vote, you feed one. That's why I don't vote. I'm feeding myself. So every time you put energy or something towards a specific egregore, a government, a news channel, a religion, you're feeding it, you're giving it your energy. When you talk about something negatively or positive, you're still feeding it. You understand? And this is where transmutation comes in. When you transmute something, it's kind of like filtering out water. Okay? There's bodies of water. All right? When you flush the toilet, that water going somewhere. Where is it going? Are there filters on it? Are there ways to transmute that water into energy, to drinking water, to something? Okay, transmutation is the way that you transmute or change that negative into the positive or a neutral. You make it work in your favor. Okay, so that's a good way to not feed negative egregores if you don't choose to. Some of y'all don't know what y'all are doing, and y'all just think it's, oh, well, I have to be conscious and politically correct, so let me talk about this subject. Okay, great, wonderful. Feed the egregore if you like. Don't feed it. If you starve it, it has less power to keep cycling. You understand? Everything also is a cycle. So when you don't feed certain egregores, it can't grow in energy, and it can't stay in the cycle. It just fizzles out. So that's why you got to pay attention to what you're giving your energy and your focus and what you're talking about too. Understand? Some people's egregore is finance or money. And when they talk about it, guess what? They get some money. You understand? When they feed that energy, they get that energy back because it's a cycle. So understand that. If you're about knowledge and intellect, that's also an egregore. Are you philosophical? That's also an egregore. That's also part of the plasma. Whatever you feed it, whatever energy, whatever plasma you send up is coming back. So make sure you're feeding the right thing and learning how to transmute the things that are coming at you, trying to get your attention. Make sure you understand how to transmute that into your energy as well. Do you understand? Okay. Yeah, they're thought forms. They're thought form created energies or entities that people continuously feed unknowingly. Some of them know. All right. Some of them know. And you are more aware of them the more observant you are, the more in tune you are, the more aligned you are. However way you get there, you're more aware of them because you can see. So yeah, bad habits, yep. Those addictions, yep. Those are egregores, all of it. So a lot of people will describe them as angels or demons or just entities. However, whatever one you feed and give it attention to, that's what you're gonna, get. So what do you feed your energy to? Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. My favorite takeaway from that book. Let me see which book. This book. Oh, girl. I have a lot of self-confirmation from this book because there's things that I've done naturally that I already knew naturally. And that's also in this book. When you seem to know stuff without really have learned it anywhere, that's also a form of plasma or the Akashic library or records helping you remember things so that when you see stuff for the first time, you're like, oh, I already do that. I've been doing that. That's just natural to me. It helps you recognize the knowledge that has been, given to you and that you already kind of inherently knew, but now you're just confirming. Yeah. Akashic records is another word for the plasma. The plasma holds knowledge, past, present, future. It holds information. It holds downloads. It holds answers. It holds good and bad. So, yeah, when you're able to access that, when you're able to tune in, when your electromagnetic frequency is on a certain level and you're able to get certain things, certain knowledge, certain information, blah, 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 you're a 2. When you're able to wield that magic, you can call it also magic. When you're able to wield that cosmic energy, when you're able to manipulate that dark matter with your mental, your awareness, your energy, it's also manifesting and it's also magic. It's also prayer. It's all the same thing, the plasma. Okay, so whatever words you use, it doesn't matter. It all means the same thing. What are you doing? What are you creating with it? What are you feeding? What are you getting out of it? What are you transmuting? How are you making your life better with it? Or are you just lost and aimlessly wandering and giving your energy away to anything that tries to take it? Okay, that's the difference. And also they talk about sovereignty. Spiritual sovereignty is knowing these things and choosing where you want your energy to go. It's like having a lot of money and donating to charity or investing in a business, basically, with your own energy. You know more, so you're not tricked, you're not scammed, you're not, cold calls to get your credit card number to buy some crap you don't need. You're aware and you give your energy where you need it to be given by your own free will and choice. That's being sovereign. You also have to be in control of your emotions and your knowledge of self and your understanding of all of this. Okay, that's what it is. Like, okay, do I want to give my energy to that? No, it's not worth it. Let me give my energy to myself, to my own cause, to something I want to actually see improve. Let me give my attention to something worthy. Okay, my attention is currency. Do you understand? I'm treating my attention as currency. And if you're not worthy of it, you're not going to get it, baby. If it doesn't interest me at all, I'm not getting it. So your attention is very valuable. What you talk about is very valuable. When the algorithm puts things on your feed, whether it's true or not, or whether it's what you want to see or not, and you just talk about it, are you going to talk about that originally or not? Was that on your mind before, or were you fed something in order to energetically feed back more? And a lot of people have to understand that. I don't care about stuff that I'm not trying to feed and get fed from. Do you understand? If you look at things like that in the form of energy, if you look at everything in the form of energy, currency, money, if you will, materially, you're not going to spend on something that's not going to give anything back. Thanks for coming on here. Your wisdom is priceless. Thank you, girl. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I appreciate you guys. I try to come on here more. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. And so when you ask a person, okay, belief, when you ask someone if they believe in something, you're asking them if they feed a certain egregor. I believe in whatever I need to believe in at the time I need to believe it. Now it makes more sense. Now, doesn't it? You understand? When you believe in something, you're feeding it your attention. You're putting your faith into it. You're holding on to it as if it's going to answer something for you. If you believe whatever you choose to believe at the time you believe it, strategically, you're sovereign. That means you're free to believe whatever you want, when it's necessary, when it's beneficial. You're not just stuck under one egregor because somebody told you. No, you're not just stuck under one belief system. You do what you want, baby. Thank you, Erzulia Heart. Sprinkle, sprinkle, ma'am. So when you're free mentally, you can do whatever you want. You don't need to be in a belief system. The belief system needs you. Do you understand? There ain't no system without you. There ain't no religion without anybody to believe it. What's a king to a God? What's a God to a king? What's a God to a non-believer? Kanye West, baby. What's a God to a non-believer? Nothing. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Y'all see all these old mythical gods and egregores from thousands of years ago. Do you worship them? No. At one point, people believed in that. At one point, people fed that. Now they don't. So it's no more. Y'all want to keep feeding the wrong egregores? Keep feeding them, baby. Y'all want to keep feeding the wrong energies and entities? Get tricked. You know, that's what I say. If you are tricked, you're spending your money. You're spending your currency. You're spending your energy. You being tricked. You the trick, baby. Whenever they see you, oh, there go a gullible person right there. Let me get them to watch this feed right quick and talk about this stuff that doesn't matter. Feed this egregore of war or, you know, negativity or religion or government. Let me get these people over here who's going to fight over some stupid stuff. Let me get them. Meanwhile, you could be feeding your own and creating your own. Okay. You literally could. So it does make sense. If it ain't making money, it don't make sense. If it's not putting nothing in my pockets, if it's not doing anything for me, why do I need to do something for it? Why do I need to promote something that is not promoting me? You understand? So unless I choose to, you understand? Everything is free will. Y'all get sucked into stuff, giving your energy away for free, looking crazy. Laura? Thank you, girl, for the super sticker. So, if you want to learn more about that, just click on my little list, the first link in the description, or right here. I have all my little Amazon spiritual items and books that I've been reading and suggest. And if you don't know how to understand who you are, then you need to master your emotions and what you give your attention to. Okay, you need to master yourself. Okay, I know young people are the targets because they don't know any better. They don't teach you self-mastery. Well, the elite and the rich people do, but most people don't get taught self-mastery. They have to go out and seek the knowledge on their own, which is perfectly fine. They don't get taught how to control their emotions in a way that's beneficial. So I think it's something that y'all need to learn if y'all weren't taught that. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you for being alive to teach me my own divinity and with alchemy and coming on here so timely. Thank you, DMCK. Casey. Thank you, girl. Or sir. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. So also, there are many egregores. There's like, people who do astrology, but you're bigger than that. The plasma is bigger than the solar system. If you really think about it in terms of in like space, universe, or dimensions, when you feed a certain egregore in a certain solar system, you're bigger than that. The plasma goes beyond that. Energy goes beyond that. It's just limited. Okay. How to talk yourself after slipping into bad habits while working on embodying your divine. Nobody's going to help you but you. So do your thing, baby. If you don't love you, nobody else will. We already know that. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will either. And they're going to say, oh, care about themselves. We shouldn't take care of them either. So the egregore you feed for that is beauty, skincare. Okay. Many women have been doing beauty rituals. They use an egregore to promote their habits of beauty. Some women have an altar dedicated to their own beauty. They have their own vanity set up with their products, nice lotions, makeup, Some of them may do a Aphrodite or an Erzuli, Frida, whatever archetype, quote unquote, egregore reminds you to take care of yourself, who represents beauty. That's what women focus on. Or you can use a picture of yourself when you're looking good. Okay, you can be your own egregore. Get you a nice picture of yourself when you look at your best, when your skin is looking good, and put the pictures up. When you see how good you look, you ain't gonna skip. Okay? Like I got to look like that all the time. I can't go backwards. You understand? So you're slipping into bad habits, you're choosing to do that. Everything is free will. Okay? Slip into some better habits. There's no excuse. Either you do or you don't. Habits form when you continuously do them over and over. So if you need to create an egregor to feed for your own beauty, do so. All right. All right. You can make an altar to yourself if you want to. Why not? You put the mirror up there. You don't have a picture, use the mirror. Same with money. You can feed a money egregor to get some money out of it. You think about money, you talk about money, you read about money, you study money, you figure out new ways to make money. Money ideas are going to come to you easier because you're a money magnet. Why? Because that's what you're feeding. If energies and that's been living in the past, energies, consciousness, floating around in the plasma, wants to see how it feels to make money or needs a vessel to make money through. They see you making moves and stuff. They come to you and they give you their ideas. It's just like a Dusty with all the money making ideas, but no ways to get the money. They finna bring you all their ideas. Why? That's what it takes. You got the avenues for it to come through. So when you want something, you got to feed that energy. You got to feed it through learning about it, talking about it, standards about it, being about it. Okay? Period. Electromagnetic frequencies will raise your frequency enough for you to attract it. Because remember, plasma is electromagnetic energies. It's the fourth state of matter: lightning, plasma balls, static electricity. What they use when they try to bring you back to life after your heart stopped beating. You know what I'm saying? So there are more electromagnetic frequencies in different areas of the earth. Okay, you got ley lines, you got different types of people, all this and all that. Okay, different frequencies, different diets, different genetic makeups. Do you understand? It's all science. When you get down to the nitty gritty, you understand all this energy. And what you feed your specific energy to is going to get more empowered. So make sure you understand when you're targeted to give your energy, and make sure you understand who's being targeted to give their energy. Do you understand? Make sure you understand how to stay unbothered and giving yourself energy or feeding whatever you want to feed in your benefit. Do you understand? So for me, I ignore stuff that doesn't serve me or those that I love, and I feed energy and attention to those things that are beneficial to me and those that I love. Period. That's it. Learn the art of unbotheredness. Okay, look up egregor. Y'all got Google. It is a term that you will also be where did that book go? Anyway, that last book I was holding up talks. Oh, here it is. This book goes into what egregores are in full detail, and it will explain it to you like you're in the 5th grade, so you'll definitely be able to understand it on any reading level. Okay, you can get this on Amazon. I have it linked under my list of books and spiritual items that I suggest. The first link in the description, and I'll link it again here. Okay, you're going through postpartum. How can I start controlling negative thoughts about my life? Still breastfeeding and I don't sleep much. Okay, stop equating yourself with negativity. It is hormonal changes. Focus on something that you can control versus something that you're not able to control right now. Okay, so focus on something that you want. Focus on the future of your child. Focus on what you plan to do today. Stay in the present. What do you want to eat tonight? What do you want to wear today? You know, focus on today. Stop worrying about the future. It ain't here yet. You're just doing too much right now. Focus on getting your health back. Focus on getting your nutrients back in your body, and focus on what you're doing today. Stay in the present. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Remember, the plasma, the energy doesn't want to live in the future or the past. It wants to live in the present because it can create here. Right? It's already created there. It hasn't created in the future yet. It can only create here. Let's focus on the present. Okay, what you finna eat tonight? What you gonna watch on TV today? Stay in the present. Stay in the now. Exactly, girl. Stop worrying about the stuff you ain't going to be able to do nothing about or stuff that's already done. Stay here. Okay. Negative thoughts, turn them into positive thoughts, mid thoughts. So you start thinking about something negative. Consciously say, stop that thought. Let me think about something positive instead. Like how good I look. Let me think of something positive instead. Like, what am I going to make, you know, today for my snack? What am I going to wear tomorrow? Stay in the positive. And it doesn't even matter if it's, it doesn't even matter if it's shallow or not, as long as it's positive. Okay. Watch something funny. Read a good book. Do a facial. Stop worrying about negative stuff. And the moment that a negative thought creeps in, replace it with a positive thought. And then automatically, you're going to train yourself in your mind to not think negative. Or if you do start to think negative, to automatically replace it with something positive until you stop thinking negative. That's what's going to happen. When I was younger, I used to be around a lot of negative people. And I would pick up on their negativity and start spewing their negativity. And it wasn't even my thoughts. Until I got around more positive people and started thinking more positive, all of that left. It's gone. You know, and when it tries to creep back in, it's a habit to just think positive. Thank you, Jingle Bee, Sprinkle Sprinkle. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, girl. Or sir. I can't tell. Can't see the profile. Okay, the difference between an egregor and a servitor, can you explain? Okay, an egregor is a system that you feed, an entity that you feed that's been around for a long time or something you create. All right. Servitors are more like your own little system that serves you, basically, that you feed, and you can create or dismantle at your own will. Okay. So, for example, I'll give you a good example of a servitor, a scam, a short scam. How do you ensure your energy to money is going to me? You focus on yourself and what benefits you. Okay, and you give that energy to that. So like a servitor would be something like, let's see. How I can put it, like it would be someone you hire to do a job, and a contractor, basically. It'd be like a contractor. They get in and they get out. No contracts, no strings attached. Goodbye. Thank you, goodbye. You know? An egregor would be like a corporation or a charity that's going to stand. Yeah, that's it. Okay, since your philosophy is all about being self-centered, or is it being centering yourself? If my philosophy is all about being centered and not giving your energy to others, what is your motivation to give so much of your knowledge and energy to us? Because I'm creating an egregor. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The more people that focus on it, the bigger the egregor grows, the bigger the message grows. That's how religion started. That's how corporations start. That's how many things start. Okay. So when you center yourself and you're free to think and make choices, you can choose where your energy goes as well. If I'm feeding my own egregor by getting on here each day and talking about what I talk about and giving energy to my channel, to my subscribers, to my ideas, to my whatever, that's how. Okay. When I give energy to my businesses, that's how. Okay. And when you say self-centered, that's how people describe you. But when you look at it through metaphysics and you look at it through spirituality, it's centering yourself. Namaste. Do you understand? You gotta use the words correctly, baby. So if you're going to feed something, feed yourself. Okay? Don't feed everything else and then you ain't got nothing left, baby. You're going to be looking crazy. Now, you can feed the things that you want to be fed back from because it's like a sprinkle, sprinkle. You know what I'm saying? You dreamed a spell when you was feeling unsafe, did the spell, but shock on how fast it usually just write them down. Okay, well, you know what? You got some messages, you know, you listen to your intuition. And also, thank you, girl. You listen to your intuition, and they talk a lot about intuition in that book that I'm telling you about. They say the intuition is basically the plasma reminding you, girl, go ahead and do that. Girl, go ahead. I see in the future. This is what it is. Go ahead and make that move, you know? Or don't make that move, girl. You remember what happened back then. You know, intuition is literally the plasma subtly. That's why intuition is subtle. Subtly nudging you like, girl, don't do that. Or, yes, going in the right direction here, you know. So, Shera, will please say my name 4 times. No, sprinkle, sprinkle. But I will say sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. What if you're using the egregore to transmute what is meant to harm or hold you back? Then you're doing it correctly. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's called transmutation, yeah. Have a transmutation egregore. How about that? All right, you can create them. You can feed them. Feed the transmutation egregore. Learn about transmutation. Use it. Control your emotions. Focus on that. Learn about it. Other people about it. That's how you grow it. That's how you create it. Okay. How do you decode someone's name? Google it. Name, meaning of, and then you insert the name, baby. All right. My birthday was great. Thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Google all this stuff y'all can Google, babe. Don't ask me dumb questions. Just Google it. Y'all know how to do that. Same way you decode dreams, symbolism. Same way you decode words, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Etymology, exactly. Etymology is breaking down of words, decoding words and their meanings. What? Okay. So when you are being fooled and tricked on feeding certain egregores that you don't want to grow or that you don't want to receive energies from or give to, stop paying attention to it and stop talking about it. That's literally it. Very simple. Some people don't understand what they're doing because they're being manipulated and tricked, okay? That's why some people don't watch the news. That's why some people just scroll past certain things. That's why some people don't care about certain things because they're not going to feed that egregore. It's not that they're insensitive. It's not that they don't care. It's just that they're not feeding something. You understand? And when you stop feeding something, it usually, what? Goes away. Or at least goes away from you. Okay, so you believe in SHERA goddess, but now I believe in everything and anything I need to believe in when I need to believe in it, when it's beneficial to me, when I need to use it. I am sovereign, which means I choose to do what I need to do when I need to do it, period. Okay? So if you're trying to make someone believe in one thing, you're trying to make them feed an egregore. You can feed several egregores, or you can feed your own egregore, or you can use different egregores when you need to use them. So belief systems are egregores. Do you understand? So I can believe in everything at the same time and believe in nothing at the same time. You understand? It's called the paradox. How to ensure that your boyfriend's fam isn't siphoning me. Stop paying attention to him and feed yourself. Be self-centered or center yourself and stop worried about them. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Stay unbothered and learn to say no. And stop giving your energy where you don't want to give it. That's pretty much it. So Stop trying to put people in boxes and categories and just let them be and let them do what they want, because that's all you can do. Okay. If you are trying to do something, free yourself mentally so you can do all. You understand? Be like, what's his name? Oh, the last Mission Impossible. What was Tom Cruise or Ethan on the last Mission Impossible? Did y'all see that? He wasn't working for no country. He wasn't working for no this or that. He was just doing what he wanted to do. Save the world. He wasn't working under any belief system, any country, any this, any that, any good, any negative. He was trying to stop feeding a certain egregor, basically. So, sovereign means you are free your own decisions. You're not under any belief system. You do what you need to do when you need to do it, how you need to do it. You feed what you need to feed when it's time to feed it, and you don't feed what you don't want to feed, you starve it. It's having the knowledge. That's it. You're a blessing to this generation. You've learned so much from you. Love from the goddess. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, goddess Leona. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Appreciate you, girl. Yeah, it's very occult. So this is why you get all these media stories, news stories trying to grab your attention and feed it. You're turn that stuff off and look at some makeup tutorials and how to get this money tutorials, the stuff you want to see in your life. Don't focus on the stuff you don't want to see. Focus on the stuff you want to see. That's how the algorithm works as well. Whenever you look at something too long on your social media, it's going to start feeding you more and more of it, just like the plasma, just like the egregores. Clean up your social media. Put stuff that you want to see more of. It'll give you more inspiration, and you'll be moving more towards that, and you'll see more results from the things that you're feeding yourself on your feed. You understand? We create and feed egregores alone. Yeah. I do. I have my own. So algorithm feeds you what you click on, what you give your energy to. It gives you more of it. Same thing with egregor. How to interpret dreams. Look it up. Symbolism book. Dream symbolism book, or Google. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Take the symbols out of the dream and interpret the symbols, and then put them back in the story as the interpreted symbol. Okay, that's literally it. Just Google the symbol meaning. The main things that stand out, the symbols. How can I make your boyfriend lock in with me and provide? Girl, this is the wrong channel, baby. Look at the SHERA goddess. You can lock into yourself and focus on you and be the prize. Okay? Don't ask me questions on this channel about the other stuff, okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, though. How do we create our own egregor? By feeding it. Learning about whatever it is you're learning about. Giving it energy. You should be your own first egregor. That's number one. Okay? You should be your own, and then anything that comes from you is your egregor. Anything you create is then your egregor. So, for example, if you are your own egregor, you're feeding yourself your own energy, right? You're focused on you. You're waking up and putting yourself as a priority, right? Then whatever you do in addition to that, whatever you create in addition to that, let's say you start a business. Let's say you start a YouTube channel. Let's say you start a social media. That's also an egregor. Whatever you create from it, that's your little egregor right there. You feed it every day, and it brings you things back in return. Okay? So, people will try to trick you into feeding their egregor. Or you choose to feed other egregores that you agree with and that you want to be a part of in order to feed yourself from it as well. It's like a currency. It's like water, literally. So, for example, if you like my channel, you feed my egregor and I feed yours. You learn from it. You benefit from it, and I benefit from you. See? Just like in the government. When y'all go line up to vote for people, you're lining up to an egregore to give it energy. And you hope, somebody getting tricked, you hope it's going to give you something back in return, but instead it just sends you an IRS notification and you got to still be paying. But either way, focus on what you want. Thank you. We also asked how one stay unbothered. How do you stay unbothered? It seems easy for Pisces. Pisces are good at acting like they have no heart and being selfish. Self-centered, center yourself, baby. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. What do you want? Okay. Think of yourself as your own wishing well or your own genie. Okay. What do you want? Then focus on that only. If there's something you don't like and you don't want, stay unbothered unless it's what you want. That's it. For example, if somebody is acting a fool, trying to push your buttons, they want your energy. They want your reaction. Do you want to give it to them? No? Then don't do it. That's literally it. Think of your emotions as money. Think of your emotions as money. Somebody's sitting over here begging you for money, telling you, oh, you're selfish, you should give money. Da, 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 da. Bye, Felicia. Do you understand? Think of your emotions and your energy as money. Don't give it away unless it's an investment and coming right back to you. Unless you choose to give it away. It's your option and it's your choice. If you're easily triggered, if you're scammed, if you're duped, that's up to you. So your energy is money. Guard it like currency. Guard it like guard your wallet, baby. Thank you. Thank you, Grand Duchess. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Thank you, girl. So treat your emotions and your energy like money, and you'll preserve it, you'll invest it, and you'll get it back 10 times fold if you know how to use it wisely. Okay. So therefore, you can't think like when they especially women, when they teach you how to control your emotions, they don't. When they teach you how to love and to give freely of yourself, they're teaching you how to give away your energy. But when you get smarter, you treat that energy like money and you don't just give it away. You invest it, you grow it, and you create your own stuff and you be feeding off of it. Hi, Shera. What sparked your interest in spirituality? I've always been spiritual, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Since I can remember. Since I was a baby. Since I was a child. I never bought into religion. I think I was just born aware. Honestly. Some people are just born aware, and that was me. I was literally born aware of the, like, you know, when you're a kid, your parents try to give you religion. They'll probably try to take you to church. And me, I was just shaking my head like, this ain't it, baby. You know, that was me naturally as a baby, as a child. I was like, this don't sound right. This ain't it, baby. What else is there? You know, I saw more. I was able to feel more. I was able to align with more than was just being told. I knew everything was fairy tale or metaphor. I just knew already. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to be awoken. I was born that way. All right. You said it's called being a Pisces. Whatever you want. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at everybody else like they were dumb. Well, y'all dumb. Why y'all believe this stuff? Y'all stupid. That was me. And you can't say that. So you just go on your own little path. All right. You start seeing adults as dumb. Like, what y'all doing? So when you ask questions and they can't explain it, then you start looking at them like something wrong with them. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll figure it out myself. So religion is an egregore as well. And you start to see that from a very young age. When it doesn't make sense to you and it's not beneficial to you in any way, you stop feeding it. Okay? That's literally it. Yeah, another egregore is definitely astrology. You use it when you can benefit from it, but you never let it limit you, darling. Okay, so here's a great example. When you base your entire decision-making process based on an egregore, you're limiting yourself. But when you use that energy or that egregore to promote something that's beneficial to you, that's how you use it in a positive way. You understand? So, for example, I say, okay, I'm a Pisces. That's why I have these qualities and these traits and I'm all that. Great, whatever. But when someone tries to limit you and say, oh, well, what's this and what's that? And do you know that this is going to happen? I don't listen to it, because the plasma or that energy that flows through all of us is beyond this solar system, which is what the astrology is based on, one solar system in a vast universe, multiverse. So it has limit, and I'm limitless mentally. You know what I mean? So I use the egregores when I need them, but I don't feed into the negative part of them or the limiting part of them. You see, I feed another egregore myself. Sprinkle, sprinkle. An egregore is just a system. Okay, a system of compounded beliefs that feed off of your energy, or you can call it an entity, whatever you want to call it, the government, a religion. All of these are egregores. YouTube channels, whatever, cults, who cares? Kanye West followers and fans. Yeah. Okay, let's use Kanye West as a good example. This is a really good example of an egregore. How he created one. Like, we really like this example. So he can be negative, he can be positive, he can try to cancel himself. Then he just comes out and makes good music, or does something or say something that ends up being true. You know, that's a really good example on what he chooses to feed, what he chooses to starve, the type of attention he tries to draw, negative or positive. It's still energy, and he can use it as he wants. You see? Doesn't matter as long as it's energy. So if you do something that upsets people, that they're going to talk about it. If you do something that excites people, they're going to talk about it. If you do something that people are against, they're going to talk about it. But guess what? All that energy is still going into his egregore. No matter what, even whether you like him or not, it's going there. Do you understand? Whether you like it or not, you feel. So remember that. It's a basically psychic vampirism. Basically, yeah. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And I just came up with this conclusion. I don't know. The whole term of vampire, the whole metaphor of what a vampire is. Okay. The movie Sinners, y'all know the movie Sinners, when they were describing what a vampire was, and she would say, oh, it's when a soul can't leave the body and it's stuck on this plane. But see, the living, when they die, they can go on to the next. But the vampire, they stay stuck. They stay stuck. They can't go nowhere. But other energies can move on, because of vampire. Think about that vampire persona. They're attached to their ego. They're attached to the physical. They're attached to the lower energy. They're attached to the body, the physical, right? You can equate it to, this is what some people believe in, cremation versus burial. Okay. The energy in your body when you're buried stays there. It has to go through a chemical process. Your consciousness, your energy, your plasma is still stuck there, whether it's going into the earth, whether it's feeding worms, whether it's staying in there, whether it's not free 100%. It's gradually leaving, very slowly, you know. And cremation, it's It's off to the plasma quickly, you know? So in the old days, when they used to claim somebody was a vampire, they would look at their dead body, their grave, and they were like, "Oh, we gotta burn this. We gotta cut their head off. This is, you know." They didn't know anything back then, but the energy, the plasma, the ether is still in your body. It's being broken down chemically. Okay, and then when they started doing embalming, it preserved a lot of that stuff. A lot of the gases have to escape your organs. And this is why in the ancient Egyptian days, they would do this whole process on taking out the gases and the liquids and taking all that stuff out of your body in order to free your plasma. Okay, they would dry you out because, you know, fourth state of matter: liquid, solid, gas, plasma. Okay. Now they just bury you and stick you some embalming fluid up in there, and your plasma is trapped. You're a vampire. Your energy is trapped in a body on this planet, on this earth. Okay. But when you free yourself, you're free to go. You're not stuck to a certain plane. You're not being held down by a certain weight, you know? So that's why a lot of people believe in cremation versus being buried or being chemically, you know, altered to preserve, you know? Either way. So a lot of people have fake graves as well. Can you egregore for love? What do you suggest? For love, you've got to yourself, okay? Egregore start, you have to be the first one. So if you love yourself, you're going to build a love egregore. And the more you love yourself, the more love you will receive from what you're feeding, okay? What are you feeding? Create your own self-love altar. Put a picture of yourself on there, okay? Do stuff for you. Teach other people how to treat you. Don't beg anything. Put that into yourself. Mm-hmm. Why do you think people used to eat mummies? Why do you think people eat dead people, girl? What the heck? What they trying to get out of there? I'm just going to leave that right there. Y'all can figure that out. So plasma goes from space and inner space, body, blood, sun, stars, all of it, same thing. All right. That's why when you pass away, your heart stops beating. It stops giving you that electromagnetic pulse, like that's in a star. And if they try to resuscitate you, they gotta, you know, or they try to get you back breathing and they pump your heart to try to get it back started. And if it doesn't start back, all the systems in your body start shutting down and stop moving. You're stagnant. You're no more, you know. That electromagnetic pulse is gone. And after that electromagnetic pulse is gone, your aura, your frequency, your recycling of the plasma starts to leave. Slowly, it starts to emanate out. This is why it takes 3 days before they can cremate you, because they're trying to get all your stuff out. Legally, it's so they can do an autopsy and investigate, but spiritually, it's 3 days. That's why in the Bible, they said 3 days from when Jesus was put on the cross to where he resurrected. Okay, he resurrected in the plasma, in the clouds, the plasma, the lightning, the light. Okay, so very important. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's always start with self-love, and I always go yo-yo with it. Okay, well then stop going yo-yo with it. What you feeding, ma'am? You gonna put gas in your car and then run out the next week and not put no more gas in it? It's the same thing. Either you do or you don't. You see, certain energy likes assured people. That's why some people who are disciplined, they get more opportunity. Why? Because if you are an energy, if you are a plasma, if you are a conscious plasma, which is this book, what my book? If you are a conscious plasma, you have some information. You're part of the Akashic field or Akashic record or whatever. You got some information and you want to give it to somebody. You ain't giving it to somebody who's yo-yoing, are you? You got to represent. Okay, so interesting. Be blessed, Shira. You are so smart. Thank you, ma'am. You got to represent. Okay, look, think about this. Now, I'm not the best looking chick in the whole entire world, but I don't yo-yo. I'm consistent. You understand? I'm consistent. So if you are some conscious flat plasma floating around, are you going to come to me or are you going to go to someone who's consistent? You need to get your stuff out there. You need to get your stuff done. You need to give me some information. You coming to me, right? Because I am consistent. Not going to somebody who does this sometimes. You ain't going to somebody that don't do nothing. They ain't gonna get up tomorrow and do it. You're going to somebody who is consistent. That's why someone who is consistent will always be more successful than someone who is not consistent or inconsistent, because they're going where the energy is flowing. So when you want something, you got to be consistent at it. Period. But do you know anyone in the elite occult groups? Yes, me. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Y'all are laughing. Mm-hmm. Here's another thing. This is another reason why people stay. This is another reason why people say stay humble. It doesn't mean to humble yourself. It means to not let yourself get bigger than what you're doing. That means you want fame, where to start? Self-love. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Do what you got to do. The love of what you do. Fame is a byproduct. Fame is a byproduct of your purpose. That is it. If you focus only on the fame, it's like a medication and the side effect. You want the side effect? Okay. So it's a side effect of something that you do. Have you ever noticed that people that seek out fame never get famous, but the people that don't seek out fame but seek out their passions and they become good at it and they become consistent at it, that's who gets famous, not the people that are looking for it, okay? You don't chase, you attract by doing what you do, by feeding what you feed. Do you suggest glamour magic while doing makeup? Of course, that is glamour magic. Makeup is glamour magic. All right, you want to what? You want to start your egregor? Then start it, girl. Michael Jackson said you better be starting something. Got to be starting something. You can't get bigger than what you're trying to do. Okay. This is what happens to a lot of people. They start to get bigger than what they're trying to do. If you try to become bigger than what you're trying to do, then you're not feeding the egregor anymore. You're feeding off of it. And you're not feeding it anymore. Now you're this is when some people go like cuckoo. Okay. You're doing too much. This is why I love MJ, because even though he was the most famous person in the world, he never got bigger than what he was trying to do. And even when people tried to make him bigger than what he was trying to represent and do, he always said, oh, Well, I'm just an instrument of nature. I let the divine flow through me and I get ideas and I just do them. He never got bigger than the plasma or what he was trying to do. You understand? But in return, as the side effect, period, you know? He built his egregor and it is unshakable. And it stands the test of time. Okay, so MJ was a Virgo. We know Virgo characteristics, right? They're perfectionists. Very adamant on manifesting what he wanted to do, did everything, became super famous. Great. But the egregore that he was feeding was the music industry, and the messages in his music. And many others. Thank you. 444. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Anyway. Oh, and the plasma. Yes, the plasma is immortal. Because it is constantly, it's like water. You've been on planet Earth from day one. Water has been recycled from day one. The water you drink has been around billions of years. If you believe in dinosaurs, this has been through a dinosaur's bladder. Okay? Every drop of water has been recycled, filtered, peed out. I can get grosser. But you're still drinking it. It's like the plasma. It's always going to be a cycle, a currency. Life force energy, blood, same thing in your body. Water, plasma, blood. Stardust, energy, electricity, same thing. It's all the same in different forms. So it is immortal. Does listening to music drain us and feed the singer? No, sprinkle, sprinkle. If what the music does to you is give you energy, frequency, and according to the words, it could give you motivation. It could give you positivity. So, yeah. Can plasma heal your virus? I don't know, baby. Copper, maybe. Coconut oil, maybe. Natural medicines, medications, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you got, man. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But it's going back to the music. You know, a frequency, an electricity, voice is also electric. Your voice is electric. So music, yes, it can feed you. And if you like, okay, so let's say you don't know who the singer is. I don't know who's singing it. Like, let's say you ain't never heard of MJ before, and you hear his song and you like the music. It's feeding you. If you know the singer and you pay attention to the singer and you like the singer and you let the singer get bigger than the music, that's fame. That's a byproduct of the music, you see? And now you start feeding the singer energy, you see? That's why recently, in the last, 30 years, you don't even have to be able to sing good to be a celebrity or a good singer. You just got to look good because they can auto-tune all that crap now. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to know how to sing to be a singer anymore, because now fame, they have created fame as an egregore versus talent. You know what I mean? So there are so many people out here seeking fame that it has become its own egregore. And if you feed fame, but you're not doing anything for fame to feed you, you're not going to get famous. You understand? If you chase after fame instead of attracting it, you're never going to catch it. You know what I mean? Because you're feeding it too much and you're not allowing it to feed you. You said now they got AI singers. Yep. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said thoughts on who? I don't know who these people are. Girl, it's not Kanye, Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Rihanna. I don't, I don't keep up. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. I know all of them. I know the big ones. Okay. Girl, who? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm not laughing. I'm just saying, like, no one has fed his egregore enough for me to know who he is. Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, how do we let it feed us? By feeding yourself the knowledge. If you want to be fed positively, because there's positive and negative feeds, okay? You want to be fed positive, think positive, put positive energy towards whatever it is you're learning about, studying, giving attention to. It must be positive if you want to be fed back positivity. You understand? So, for example, like gossip is a negative egregore that feeds you back negativity. But if you understand how to transmute energy, you don't look at things as negative or positive, but just neutral, and then you're able to transmute it into whatever you choose to, okay? Then that's another way of looking at it as well. So, for example, people that gossip a lot, they're feeding negative egregores. People that talk about ideas and money and, collabs and stuff like that, they're feeding a more positive egregore, even though they're still talking about the same person. They're talking about that in a different way that's more beneficial. You understand? That can bring them more. So when you talk about stuff like that, this is why they say poor people gossip more. Rich people talk about ideas. Wealthy people talk about, everything else as far as like, collaborating and growing their wealth and all this kind of stuff. So they're feeding different egregores. If you're given poverty egregores to feed, that's what you're going to get more out of. Okay? We create egregores and feed them every day, whether we realize it or not. That's true. Make sure you're feeding the right ones and getting what you. Thank you, Divine Energy, Spring, for the super sticker. Okay. You said many people in the mundane world speak in a manner where they don't have that much free will. That's true. This is why they use the term sovereignty. Sovereignty means you have absolute free will, and you are aware of it, and you don't have to be reminded of it because your perspective is free. So, you don't believe in religion, but what do you think about people who experience exorcisms and see? Girl, all it is metaphor. Okay. So some psychological and it's metaphor. Like if I wanted to use religion to explain plasma, I could because it's all metaphor. If I wanted to use philosophy to explain plasma, I could. Okay. Just like, where's that book? Okay, here go the book right here. So this book is called The Demon in the Egregor, which means there's negative, there's positive, and there's neutral. So if you're being fed by a negative energy, you can call that demonic possession. If you have a bad habit because you keep feeding an addiction, that can also be the same thing. Okay. Back in the old days when people had psychological problems, they called them demon possessed. Did they know that it was a chemical imbalance, or did they know that this person had been traumatized and this is how they cope with it? They didn't know that. They couldn't study that. But now that we have science and we have philosophy and we have metaphysics and we have all this understanding that we can combine everything together, it's all metaphor for the same stuff. The plasma, the energy, the thought forms, what you feed, what has been fed to you. Has trauma been fed to you? Do you regurgitate trauma back to other people? Do you feed a trauma egregore? Do other people feed a trauma egregore? Do you feed a victim egregore? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people just don't get what they need. They don't get the positivity. They don't get the attention that they actually need in order to understand what they're doing. So sometimes They don't understand they have free will. They just cope, how they cope, okay? They're given religion versus knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Before religion, there was knowledge. Think about it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. They also describe the scribe, you know, a scribe, someone that has the plasma, knowledge, nous, information, Akashic records. Okay. Anyone who is described as a scribe is a conscious energy, plasma, that's willing to give you ideas, as willing to, like, when you breathe in, breathe out. That's an electromagnetic frequency right there. When your heart beats and all that kind of stuff, you're breathing in and out the matter that's unseen, the plasma, all that kind of stuff is flowing through you. You're getting ideas, you're listening, you're in tune, you're vibing, whatever you want to call it. You're getting all that energy and all that information. And some of it is conscious. Okay. Some of it is conscious. And that's how some people get ideas. Have you ever heard of a person say, oh, well, I have all these ideas. And if somebody else is like got the same idea and they act on it and I didn't, that's because it's consciousness. That's free floating out there for you to use or not use. Okay. And so many people are unaware of that and they think people are stealing their ideas. Them ideas been out there for everybody. Ain't nothing new under the sun, baby. Okay, either you act upon it or you don't. 5 people can get the same idea at the same time. The one who's consistent and not procrastinate is going to get it first. The one who got the tools to get it is going to get it first. You understand? You sitting there laying on your bed, you get an idea, you don't do nothing about it, you don't have any ambition, you don't have anything, then you're going to watch someone who actually got the idea around the same time as you did, and you're going to watch them execute it, and then you're going to be mad at them. Hey, they stole my idea. That was my idea. No, it wasn't. It was just an idea. You didn't do nothing with it. All right? So, act upon it. Be consistent. Stop procrastinating. Get your money. Sprinkle, sprinkle. When you manifest, you're also using plasma. Conscious plasma. Mm-hmm. But where can you take an idea? You could take it and do whatever you need to do with it to make it happen. If you have the means, the consistency, the discipline, and the ambition, you can do what you got to do. Or you can give it to someone who has it. You can give the idea away if you can't do nothing with it. How do you enter in creative flow? You start creating. Start. Free writing, free drawing, freestyling, whatever. Start, and then the inspiration will come. Because they're like, plasma is conscious. So if they see someone who's creating and they got creative ideas, and creative knowledge, and creative this and creative that, they're coming to you. So if you creating, you're gonna get creation plasma, creative plasma, creative ideas. You just got to start doing it. Like MJ would describe how he dance. He doesn't think about dancing. He just dances and let it happen naturally. Because when you're a vessel, you're allowing that to fill you. You know how to say, oh, I got filled with the Holy Spirit and I started twerking in the church. You know what I'm saying? You allow the muse, the music, the muse, the energy, the ether, the nous to fill you with ideas, to fill you with knowledge, inspiration, whatever. That's how it feeds you. And then you execute it and get this money, or get the results, or get the manifestation, or whatever. Oh, thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said creative water flowing through us. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so I have to take a small break. But hold on a second. What is this? I'm gonna do a little small break real quick. Where's this? Where's that? Oh. Buy my book. I'm back. Sorry. All right. Thank you, Portia. Thank you for the super chat, for super sticker. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Shop. Y'all get that on Amazon. Anyway. So anything that takes something up to the ethers, smell, smoke, fire, thought, speech, breath. You understand? You read some of these old books. They like burn this incense, besmoke your clothes, besmoke your environment. Look at this. This is kind of cool right here. This sacred geometry. No, I should turn this on, and this is a Bakur burner, honestly. And this sacred geometry on the top, when it fills up with this smoke, it creates this pattern. It's really cool. And then it rises in that pattern and sacred geometry and angle. It gathers energy. It, you know what I'm saying? And it also makes your clothes smell good. I do my hair, my clothes. And when you smell good and you look good, especially with sacred geometry, that brings your frequency and your vibration up, which means you are then inclined to higher forms of plasma, knowledge, nous, higher, not lower. You're going to get better ideas the better you look. Why do you think all these people who are doing this and that, you know, they focus on certain things? Because that's what attracts higher frequency, more energy. Think about this. If you're scrolling through thumbnails of videos to watch, you're looking at that thumbnail. What's going to get your attention? What's going to attract? You're clicking on something that looks good or interesting, right? Colorful, interesting, good, something that you're attracted to. So that's what you're going to click on. You're not going to click on something that's blah, mundane, and something that you're not attracted to. How to stop paying attention to what you don't want. Because if you don't want something, why are you paying attention to it? You're going to chase after a man that you want? Does it make sense? You're going to look at a man you don't want? You're going to look for a job you don't want? You're going to apply for a position you don't want? You're going to eat food you don't want, you don't like? You use common sense. That's how. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You think about things you want instead. You want that smoker? You want that bookcore? Girl, you want that bookcore? Just girl, they on Amazon. Here, look. Just click this link. I put some of them on here. Scroll through. There's books, spiritual items, all that kind of stuff. Click on it. Okay. So when you use certain elements to attract, to raise, to lift the vibrations and frequencies, you're going to be able to be in contact with higher energies, higher vibrations. Look good, feel good, smell good. You're going to get some good vibrations. Okay? So you got to get up every day and look good. Why do you think in the old days in the temples, they used to bathe you, wrap you in beautiful silks or linens or whatever there, and they'd besmoke you to make you smell good, put some oils and perfumes on you, because that raises your frequency. Literally. It's not about vanity. Vanity, looking good, is a raised frequency. It is. That's why they used to call, all that kind of stuff, oh, that's witchcraft. No, it's just raising your frequency to a level that you can access more information from, that you can do more with, that you can get fed more from. You understand? So women, especially, since we are the beautiful ones, we bring life to the planet. Our body is literally bringing plasma from the ethers into the physical. We got magic powers naturally. Everybody, every woman, baby, every woman, period. You understand? So whether you are in tune with that or not, whether you accept that or not, whether you understand that or not, whether you raise your frequency, your beauty, all your feminine energy and power up to the level where it should be or not, is up to you. Use it for what it's for. Vibrate on that higher frequency. See what happens. Focus on the things you want versus the things you don't want. Focus on the things you need to give your energy to in order to receive it back versus the things that you don't want to feed. Okay? That's it. Y'all have been tricked and brainwashed into giving your energy away. You should be using that energy to create more of what you want. Okay? How to know what to want? Ask yourself. Know thyself. What do you want? Not what other people want for you, but what do you want? Okay? I talk about it in this book, okay? Get in a dark room. Turn off all your social media. Turn off everything. And ask yourself, what do you want? Envision yourself having something that you want. What do you truly want? Not what other people want for you. Not what you think you should want, but what do you want? What did you want as a child before people told you what to start thinking? Okay? You are amazing recently inspired you to look up plasma in the book? Okay. What do you think? I think plasma are electromagnetic frequencies. It is static electricity. It is electricity, force state of matter. The more you learn about it, the more you're going to learn about it, and the more it's going to be attracted to you. And if you're aware of something, it's going to be so happy. It's like one of them ghosts that nobody can see, but you can see it. Oh, you can see me? You know what I am? Ooh, let's get it. It's like that. You work with the plasma, you understand the plasma, you know about the plasma scientifically, physically, metaphysically, mentally, psychologically. Oh, it's gonna know how to. You're literally able to use it if you know what it is. You understand? The more you know about something, the more you can receive it and understand it and not go cuckoo. All right? It's kind of like trying to upload an app. If you got them old model phones that don't even have apps, you ain't gonna be able to upload nothing or download nothing. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You don't have the capacity. You don't understand it. You don't have the frequency. You don't have the software to do it. You don't have the program to even configure it. So if you want something, learn about it. Don't ask other people either. Learn about it. Do your own research, baby. Get the downloads. Get the upgrades. Download what you need. It can't work through you if you ain't got the capacity to even hold it, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's why y'all need to be reading books. All right. I went on vacation and read 2 books and tried to read this one twice because I had finished it too quick. All right. Start reading. Knowledge is power. Okay. I have this one too. By Robert Greene, Mastery. Best-selling author of 48 Laws of Power. Also the author of The Art of Seduction. Shout out to Robert Greene. Self-mastery is also very important. It makes you sovereign, which means no one controls your thoughts. You have an ultimate sense of free will and you know exactly what you're doing. Okay. Now, if you were some energy or some conscious energy, you wouldn't want to put yourself in somebody stupid or dumb who didn't know what they were doing. You know, you putting yourself somebody to know what they're doing. Got the keys, you know? Got the keys. That know how to use this energy and this whatever. They know what they're doing. It's like, and the little that you know, the rest is going to be filled in by the consciousness of the energy, you know? The little bit that you know from these books, that ain't nothing. The rest is going to come to you. You know? It's like they're going to fill in the blanks. Some people call it extraterrestrials. It's true. It is extraterrestrial because it's off this earth too. Plasma is in the universe. It's outside of the earth. It's outside the solar system. It's past, present, and future at the same time. It's also consciousness. It's also technology. So technically, when they say, oh, there's disclosure, there's UFOs, unidentified flying objects, what, plasma balls in the sky? Aliens, not of this earth, plasma beings, egregores, yep, there sure are. But everything is metaphor, and they tell you exactly how much they need to tell you in order for you not to know anything, unless you go look it up, unless you start studying it, unless you start connecting them dots, baby. Right? And be very careful of what people try to tell you what is or what's gonna be. Because if you haven't done it or created it, it ain't it. It's what could, but it ain't what is, you know? It's what could be, but it's not what is. Like if I was going to make a prediction and say, this is what's going to happen, I can make it happen. I can make it happen because if I have access to technology, I can put out a new trend and I can make it go viral. And I could say, here, make this go viral, people. And I want to see about 80,000 million people doing this stupid TikTok dance, you know? And I want y'all to use this song to do it. All you got to do is pay a couple of dollars to make the thing go viral. Have somebody influential, just do whatever it is, and then everybody else gonna catch on. That's feeding an egregore as well. That's being able to predict the future by creating it. Do you understand? And if I say, oh, this is what's going to happen, it's not what's going to happen. It's what could happen. Or the trend might not catch on at all. So another trend might be bigger, and that one could be ignored. You know? Just could. Sprinkle, sprinkle. What are your thoughts on artificial intelligence being everywhere? Is it really artificial? What makes you think intelligence is artificial or real? Intelligence is just intelligence. So the medium that it uses to express itself is not biological. That's what you're saying. But it's the same medium that expresses you and expresses everything else. It's the same juice. That's why you see all those robot movies and they're talking, oh, the robot's going to get consciousness. Yes, it will, because it's just floating around. And you got an electrical pulse, if you got a battery, if you got a plug, you can get it. They got that movie called Ghost in the Machine, baby. Why? Because it's you can get you seen Megan 2.0. So there's only so much that you're programmed to do as a biological entity. There's only so much you're programmed to do. You know what I'm saying? You might be artificial intelligence to something else. Ooh. All right. Oh, they're just in a biological meat. They can't do what we do. But they do have a sense of consciousness. Look at them. They got something. They do what they're told and they follow orders and they stupid, but you know, some of them ain't. Like if you look at that SHERA goddess over there, she ain't the dumb one. That one got intelligence beyond what it's being fed. That thing free thinking now. She programming herself. What's happening? You understand? So the same thing with artificial intelligence or robots or automatons or whatever. They're same thing. They all got consciousness to a certain level. Hmm? You love to learn outside the standard derived info. Yeah. If they give you something for free and they try to shove it down your throat, they try to make you believe it, go read about something else that counteracts it, that argues against it, and see why they trying to feed you something so hard that you didn't ask for. You know? I'm like, okay, you're trying to feed me something that I don't want to be fed? Spit it out. Let me go get something else that I actually am interested in and like. You ain't finna feed me something I don't want. Okay, I'm very particular in what I put in my system. You understand? Do you think they'll replace us? Well, I don't think you'll be replaced. I think human nature or just nature in general recreates itself over and over and over in different forms and mediums. Okay. You look everywhere, you see the same patterns everywhere. You're just going to recreate yourself. This pattern has been recreated. You're just going to recreate yourself in different forms. Right now, this is the form that we're in right now, and there's other forms. This is just one of them. A good show to watch about plasma is The Golden Compass, the series, not the movie. It explains everything. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, I need to watch that, girl. The Golden Compass. Most movies talk about the plasma or the conscious plasma. Okay, so that last Mission Impossible movie, Megan 2.0, that's the egregore, that's the entity that was being fed and caged, and they didn't want to release it. Y'all seen that? Go watch that too. A lot of these newer movies are about the plasma. They just call it something else. They call it the entity. They call it this. They call it artificial intelligence. They call it this, you know, they try to make it the scary thing. Okay. But remember, there are also good ones. There's also positive ones that can be fed. There's also knowledge and inspiration and all this kind of stuff. Just like there's negative, there's always a counterpart that's positive or neutral. So whatever you choose to focus on, whatever you choose to fear, whatever egregore or energy or entity you choose to feed, that's what you're going to get fed back. That's why you see all these crazy fear mongers on the internet, scared for their life, building bunkers, hiding underground, eating storing canned food and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? They're just sitting over there. Every morning they scared, you know, because that's what they feed. And then you have people just living their best life while this person is paranoid, high anxiety, bad nervous system, because that's what they're feeding themselves and that's what they're getting fed back. You understand? You said they screaming, Jesus is coming back. Girl, he been coming back. He done left, came back again, twerked, came back, left again. You know, if that's what they keep feeding, that's what they're gonna keep waiting for. They keep feeding and waiting. They're gonna keep waiting for nothing. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. It's a metaphor. They don't understand metaphor. They take everything literally. How do you protect your energy when people doubt you, don't care what they think? Why do they have authority? And why do you care about their opinion? If you're sovereign, if you're free, if you're a free thinker, if you understand yourself, then why do you care what other people think? I don't care. So why should you? People are going to doubt whatever they don't believe in or whatever they think they can't do. They're going to project that onto you. Well, I don't think you can do that because they can't do it. They don't know that you have a different perspective and a different way of thinking and vibrating that allows you the energy, the information, and the push for you to be able to do it. Okay, maybe the plasma didn't want them to do it, but the plasma might want you to do it. You don't know. You know? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Maybe they didn't want to work through them. Maybe they want to work through you. Maybe they like your attitude better. All right. Maybe you're more consistent than they are. Maybe they say, okay, you're not going to do that. I don't believe you. I don't doubt you. Okay, well, you know what? I believe in me. So you believe in you. Lift your head up high and scream out to the world, I am someone, and let the truth unfurl. No one can hurt me now because I know the truth. I believe in me. So you believe in me and you believe in you. Help me sing. Mom say, Mom son, my kusa. You know, stop caring. Nobody cares. Do what you got to do. People can doubt all they want. They don't change nothing, baby. Sounds like a personal problem to me. Don't take on other people's doubts or problems. Do what you got to do. All right. I don't think nothing's going to stop no time soon. I think everything's going to keep going, and you need to get your money and feed positive egregores, feed your own, feed yourself, and get this money. Do your best, live your best life. Okay. I don't live in fear mongering. Fear mongering is for people that feed fear mongering egregores. Okay? That's what you're going to get fed right back. You understand? So, if you believe in fear factor, fear stuff, that's what you're going to get fed back. It's going to ruin your nervous system. You're not going to vibrate as high as the next person. Think about that. It's triggering your trauma response and your nervous system. It ain't good. It don't lift you up. It ain't good. Do you believe in cord cutting when trying to let go of hurt feelings for long relationships? Nope. I believe in getting this money and not feeding energy or emotions to things that are not beneficial. Okay. You got free will. You understand what it is. So, for example, if I feel a certain way about somebody, I don't got to do no cord cutting. I just stop paying it attention. You understand? I stop giving it my currency. I redirect and put it into myself. You understand? I'm not connected to anything I don't want to be connected to. I use my energy like money. You understand? I'm not on direct deposit to nobody. You get it? That's direct deposit, baby. I'm not direct deposit to nobody. You get it now? Now I have direct deposits coming to me. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like that. Whenever you're in doubt, think of something that you understand on a easier level to understand what you're doing energetically. Energetically, when you are You say, I'm gonna cut this cord. You're gonna cut that direct deposit. Good for you. Me, I'm not doing it in the first place. Why? Because no. Okay. I'm direct deposit to myself. Do you understand? So when you give your energy and your emotions to other people, if it's not beneficial and you're not getting anything back in return, you're not getting a return on your investment, then you're giving your energy away. This is why some women look haggard and worn out and traumatized, because they give their energy away. If you ain't collecting, if you're not getting more back than you give out, then what you doing? All right. So don't get attached to someone that's not way more attached to you and giving you way more. And I teach that on the other channel. Okay. You gotta understand what you're doing, where your energy is going. If y'all are over there giving your energy away for free, don't complain about it, because that's what you're choosing to do. Why do people who want to instill anger or insecurity in you, and you see this slight evil smirk behind their face, and they enjoy to disturb you? Because they're getting your energy. They're triggering you. They're getting a response. That's energy. They're taking your energy. They're siphoning your energy. Why? Because you're unaware of it and you're going to get triggered, and that's what they want, baby. It's a dopamine high, and yes, and it raises their frequency and lowers yours. Okay, they just fed off you. You understand? The world going in a circle. They're hurling through space on a multi-dimensional timeline sequence. You're wherever it's going. All right. He said you're a vegetable and they feed off of you. I wonder who said that. By the way, someone sent me that candle for my birthday. Thank you, girl. You know you are. I have two now. Two of my candles. Am I supposed to stay silent then? I feel like that's going to close my throat, girl. Nothing closes your throat chakra but you. Look, here's the thing. Controlling your emotions is more powerful than any words that you can say. Because sometimes silence is more powerful than words. Do you understand? You can preserve your throat chakra by not expelling the energy of something not worthy of your energy. Do you understand? Preserve it. Learn preservation in silence versus blah, 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 giving your energy. You understand? Some things don't even need to be said to be heard loud. Understand how to use your silence as well, because that's also part of your throat chakra. Knowing when to speak and when not to speak. Sometimes silence is all you need. Okay. Look, if I want to control you and take your energy, I know how to trigger you, because you want to get that throat chakra working. So I know how to trigger you. Therefore I can control you. You understand? I know how to get you. So do you want people controlling you? Then learn how to be quiet. Learn how to control your emotions. Learn only to give out energy to where it's beneficial to you. Okay? Be a master of yourself. Mm-hmm. He says silence is a language within itself. Energy is our native language. Yep. Talk about something else if you want to express your throat chakra, darling. If they're getting on your nerves and you're not going to give them any energy, talk about what you want instead. Hey y'all, how are y'all? Okay, this person's trying to trigger me over here, but anyway, y'all buy my book instead, and we're not going to pay attention to that, but we're going to pay attention to this. Yes, beautiful book written by a sugar goddess. Y'all need to pick this up right. And your throat chakra is working, and you're transmuting that energy that you want to spew over there, but you're putting it back into you. You understand how you do this, man? This is how you do it. You redirect, transmute, gain. That's all you got to do. Voila. In your account. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You love that book? Thank you, man. Lady Muse, I appreciate you. Redirecting the conversation, whichever one. Look, if you're a smart person, you can take their energy and you can feed your energy and get you some profit off of it, or you can just shut up and focus on something else. Okay. Depends on your level of self-mastery and your ability to transmute and understand how the pendulum swings. Y'all always talking about, oh, can you talk about how the pendulum, how you can control your own ebb and flow and stuff like that? It talks about that also. What do I look at? In one of these. The one I keep holding up with the old man on it. Oh, here it is. It talks about the pendulum in this book too. How you control your own ebb and flow, your own swing, your own feed. Get that book. Just click on this. It's all my little books that I mentioned. It's all in it. Okay. Did I see your super chat? Hold on. Let me go back. What do you do if you're giving your energy out free? Stop and start collecting it instead, but in a positive way. You know, like for me, I'm collecting energy in a positive way because I'm giving it out as well as receiving it. So it's a currency that keeps your frequency up. You understand? And think about your heartbeat. Every time your heart beat, it puts out energy and it creates your auric field. It continuously feeds itself. It pumps blood. It's like your body. It's like your system. It's like your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system continuously. So it feeds this part of your body through your veins and through your arteries. It's like that. That's why, let me see something. Where's my stuff at? I had a picture. That's why in certain religious figures, especially Catholic, oh, it's not on here. Well, if you see like a, hold on, I have one here. Darn it. Well, anyway, you know how like the Jesus or the Mary icon has like the Sacred Heart with flames and stuff? It's like the pulse, the frequency, the da-da-da-da, okay? That's the electromagnetic field, the energy, right? So that is feeding and getting fed back to itself, right? If you understand like how the heart and the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary system work, it's the same thing. Okay, this is why Leonardo da Vinci studied the human body, why he studied water, bodies of water, streams, lakes, clouds, you know, all of this stuff, because it's all the same system feeding itself over and over again and again. And it's the same thing with energy. So if you want to stop giving your energy away, give it to something that's beneficial to you and you'll get it back better. You understand? And if you don't know what to give it to yourself. Start there. If you don't know where to focus it back on you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. The torus field of light, yep. That's exactly it, yep. All of the same thing. It means all the same thing. Maintain your energy and become abundant, ladies. That's right. Get your money. Okay, OG New Blood says focusing on gossip and drama and you just leaking energy, the parasite collecting, sitting there on YouTube feeding the garbage. Yeah, Gary. Some people give their energy to the landfill, to the garbage truck, to the dump truck. Yeah. Some people do. Some people don't. Some people give their money and their energy and their frequency and their attention to what they want to come back and be invested in, you know, or to themselves. You said how to transmute energy? Well, you can do it so many ways: mentally, metaphysically, with metaphor, with symbolism, whatever. There are symbols out that are literal transmutation symbols, to where your psyche and your mind sees it, whatever you're thinking about, whatever, if it's negative, that symbol will automatically transmute that thought form or that thought energy into whatever it needs it to be. You know what I'm saying? So same thing with your mind. If somebody is spewing negativity towards you, if you're very wise and you understand how to control your emotion, you're a master of self, you know how to transmute that energy into something that's beneficial to you. Okay? Whether it's speaking or not speaking, whether it's focusing it in another direction to benefit you or not, whether it's redirecting the energy or the attention to something better when you got it. You understand? Let's say somebody's saying something negative about you. Okay, now I'll give you all an example. This is what I do. Somebody's saying something negative about you and they're asking stupid questions or they're saying negative. You take that information, you don't even address it, but you take the energy that's coming from it and you switch it around to something that is beneficial to you. Okay? That's literally it. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad you're here commenting, asking weird, stupid questions. But while you're here, why don't you go ahead and pick up my book? You're going to love it. Okay. Yes. Stuff like that. You just redirect it to what you want it to be on. Transmutation. If someone is, it's just like when someone knocks on the door. You don't have to answer it, or you can. It's up to you. Some people are stupid and they think everybody that knocks on their door deserves an answer. No, they don't. Some people are trained monkeys and they will run to that door and open it like an idiot. Do you understand? So, do you respond to bells and knocks? Or do you choose whether you want to open the door or not? That's a good test. Do you run to the door or do you? I'm not answering that. I don't feel like getting up. I'm not expecting anyone. They would have called first if it was important. I don't need to answer that. Leave it on the doorstep. I don't care. You know? There's two types of people. Which one are you? You want to train yourself? Practice not answering the door sometimes. If you're not expecting anybody, don't answer the door. That's a good form of doing what you got to do. Making your own choice, not being programmed. One way to break out of that, stop doing stuff you've been trained to do. Or retrain yourself. Choose what you want to do. You only answer your door for food orders. Okay. Have you seen those people though? They get on my nerves. Just because the doorbell ring, they jump up, don't even care who it is, ain't expecting nobody, don't got no ring light, don't got no ring cam. They just jump up, open the door. When people get bewitched by parents and they see it, how do you address that? You bewitch yourself. You retrain yourself. You reprogram yourself. You understand? You got the power. Use it. You saw how they did it. Do it to yourself. And be consistent with it since they were. You understand? So, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to bewitch yourself with? Positivity, ambition, drive. Well, look in the mirror every day. Write it down. Remind yourself of what you're going to do. Talk about it. Be about it. Take action towards it. You can reprogram yourself. Just because somebody programmed you don't mean you can't reprogram yourself. Mm-hmm. There ain't nothing you can do about it but reprogram yourself. What you gonna do? Sit there and be mad and waste energy, or reprogram yourself? Use the energy that you could be using to be angry and upset with, become aware, and then reprogram yourself with that same energy. Mm-hmm. You see, you think that's why many girls are having issues with living with their parents in adulthood. Okay, talk less. Learn how to lie. Your parents ain't got to know everything. You don't have to tell them everything. You don't have to do whatever they say. As long as you are doing, as long as you're safe and you're making good decisions that are beneficial to you, wonderful. Sometimes parents are just trying to protect you. But if you don't see any benefits, or if you don't see the good in it, if you think it's more of a form of control and manipulation, then do what you want to do. Okay? That's it. Just like religion. It has some good parts, it has some good metaphors, but then it has some stupid stuff in it too. Take what you want, leave the rest. Nothing is 100% accurate. It's bits and pieces everywhere. Okay? All right, I gotta go in a little while. Who's the highest vibrational person that I've met? Ooh, that I've met? That I know of? Children are very highly vibrational because they're tainted with self-doubt and negativity yet. So any child is highly vibrational. But an adult that I've met in person, like actually physically met, I would have to say Prince. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hi, Shera. Sending condolences to you. Thank you, Theodora. Thank you, ma'am. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I would say Prince for sure. He's like one of the top musicians ever. I mean, a lot of his songs are very spiritual, very deep. You know, I didn't get a chance to meet MJ, but I did meet Prince twice. And when you meet someone on that caliber, like a lot of times people say don't ever meet famous people, or don't ever meet your idols, or whatever, but he wasn't like that at all. Very, very interesting. And also like very ethereal, I would say. And I always remember he had glitter and sparkles before this like highlighter stuff even came out on the cosmetics. You know, this was back in the 90s. Before like highlighter even came out, he had glitter and sparkles everywhere, like the plasma, like sprinkle, sprinkle, like the plasma, like stardust everywhere on him when I met him. So I thought that was interesting. It was like a very ethereal being. Lots of depth there. Sprinkle, sprinkle. As a parent, how do you stop worrisome thoughts when you think a young adult's child is adulting? If you taught them well, they were young. If you were a good example, now listen very carefully. If you taught them well and you were a good example, do exactly what they've learned. And when they come to decisions that they need to make, they're going to think, what would my mom say about this? What should I do? If you teach them to think for themselves, They're not going to be peer pressured easily. So this is very important when you're raising kids. If you've done your job as a parent and you've done good, you worry less. If you didn't do good, you worry more. You see? My mom always tells me, I never worry about you because I know you know what to do because you watched me. And either you learn from my mistakes or you learn from all the things that I did right. And I know you're smart and I know this and I know that because I'm sure that I put you in this environment. I taught you how to think for yourself. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't doubt what you're finna do. I might not agree with it, but I always know you're gonna be okay. So you need to teach your kids how to think, not what to think. Because if you teach someone what to think, what if another situation arises and they weren't taught what to think about that? But if you teach somebody how to think, they can break it down. They can look at it from different perspectives. They can see, why is this person doing this, or why they want me to do it. They're going to understand on a deeper level, on a higher level, on what they need to do, because you didn't teach them what to think. You didn't give them religion. You gave them free will and thought process. You understand? What am I don't read stuff that's not beneficial to me, darling. If I was going to break it down scientifically, I would say it's a distraction to feed an egregor that I don't want to feed. You understand? Okay. So you got to teach them kids how to think, not what to think. That's why I never taught them religion, ever. Because I don't want them in a box. If they want to learn about it, they can go read about it if they want to. Never told them they couldn't. Sprinkle, sprinkle. All right. Yeah, I'm not feeding or reading anything that's not feeding me back positivity or money. You understand? If it's not making me look better, if it ain't feeding my pockets, if it's not giving me anything I need to vibrate on a higher frequency, I'm not going to consume it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to pay attention to it because I don't need to. What's it doing for me? Nothing. Okay? I'm treating my attention like money. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said, how do we nullify evil spirits? Vibrate higher. Okay, so think about plasmas as energies or spirits as well. If you're a good, upstanding person, they're not going to be attracted to you. You don't eat meat. You're not going to attract a gluttonous carnivore energy. They're not going to have no fun through you. They got to eat vegetables and stuff. Same thing. If you're around evil people, evil environments, you have evil thoughts, you do evil things, evil energies are going to be attracted to you. You be doing good stuff is going to be attracted to you. You understand? So get away from evil people, get away from evil environments, get away from evil situations, get away from evil talk. And then they won't affect you because they can't have fun through you. They can't do nothing. You don't eat meat. You don't roll around on the mattress on the third date after 3 free meals. Oh no, I can't do nothing with you. All right. How do you know you're on the right path? If it's the path you chose and it's beneficial to you. You mean nullifying evil spells? Too high to get over, too low to get under. You stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. Okay, so is there really good or evil spells, or are there just spells? Can you transmute that into whatever you want? Any spell that someone does against you, you just transmute that into something positive. Okay. Why don't you do a spell why don't you do a spell to transmute any negativity into positivity. So anybody doing an evil spell against you, it's money in your pocket, darling. More money, you know. Get this money, girl, always. Said remaining in your sovereignty is the only protection you need. That's right, humble chick. That's right. Don't nobody have no power over you because you can transmute anything. Get your money from it too. Shera, you showed me how I could change my perception of self for the positive. My line of thinking forever grateful goddess. Oh, thank you, Theodora. Appreciate that. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, some people see things as good and evil, but I just see it as energy. Exactly. Like transmute it to whatever you need to transmute it to, man. Use it for whatever you need to use it for, okay? What else? Do you think we control our actual thoughts when we are only able to control the thoughts we identify with and choose to accept? I feel like what you can do is you can pay attention to what you want to pay attention to and ignore what you don't want to pay attention to. I believe you have free will to think about what you want to think about and think about whatever you choose. Okay. I believe you have the free will to act upon your thoughts or not act upon your thoughts. I believe you have free will to point your thoughts in a whole different direction and think something totally different if you choose to. Just like you could turn the channel, you could do the same thing. So let's say you're sitting in bed late at night thinking about something and now you don't want to think about that. Okay. You can read a book. You can watch TV. You can scroll online. You can draw a picture. You can write a story. You can listen to music. What you gonna do? You gonna sit there and suffer? Or you gonna do something about it? Mm-hmm. You said that the downside of TikTok is fear tactics. Then take it out of your algorithm. Why are you following people you wouldn't trade places with? Why are you following people with bad nervous systems? You want to vibrate on that level? Yeah, now. Why are you following people with bad nervous systems who's scared of everything? You're not me. I follow, follow somebody who's sure of themselves, who's powerful, who's positive. Follow that. Stop following bad nervous systems that's paranoid. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Mm-hmm. But anything that's fear mongering is comedy to me. I just be laughing at it. It's like, look at this fool. It just makes my frequency higher because I laugh at them. They look so silly. Some people don't even believe the stuff that they're fear mongering for. They're just trying to get clicks and views. Okay, they don't even. Some people feed egregores that they don't even want or believe in. They just feed it to get the byproduct of it, which is views and content views. Okay, because they know people get hooked on negativity a lot. So they use those people that are feeding that egregore to feed off of them temporarily. They don't really even believe in it. Some of them, half of them don't. Okay, they're just doing, oh, it's popular right now, what's trending, put this out so I can get this money. Understand? So some of them believe in it, some of them don't. Okay, just like you got some pastors on the pulpit that be teaching the Bible and don't even go by the Bible. They just collecting the building fund and the tithes and offerings, darling. You understand? You can feed an egregore and not even believe in it. And then you can feed your own pockets with it. You understand? So some people are just doing what they know that's going to get clicks. They collect the money and leave you stressed out, and they own about their business. Mm-hmm. I got to go in like 1 minute, y'all. But it's been fun. Oh, there you go. I'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all so much. I'll try to be back soon. How do you recommend starting a spiritual journey? By just starting. Learning about something you're interested in. That's how you start. Pick up a book, learn about something, educate yourself on something. Okay. You can't get the downloads or the uploads if you don't have the software. Sprinkle, sprinkle. See you later. Bye.